Hey, Kings of Dragons, Dragon King 551 here. And as I promised, we're doing a football breakdown video. This is not for the Michigan Wolverines. This is talking about TCU, uh, everything that looking forward to. First things first, I want to jump into one post that someone put up about a way too early for the 2023 season, and then we got the official AP ranking. So I want to see your guys' thought process on the early one versus the actual existent one we got. So let's look at this one. Now, obviously, I don't really like this one because it seems like the media keeps on being now, obviously, I don't say they're biased to SEC because definitely they deserve to be there. But what the hell is Alabama doing at 5? They look horrible. I mean, Penn State was good. Tennessee, I think, will be pretty good next year. LSU, I think this is LSU right here, is going to be pretty good. But Iowa in the 25. I mean, yeah, with K McNamara, they'll probably be really good. But this is what I don't like. Why is the media hate Michigan so much and then they talk so good about Ohio State as like their poster boy? Excuse me, didn't you just lose twice to Michigan in 2 years and you got shell shocked? You lost by 15 points the first year, you lost by 22 points the second year. I mean, you lost in total by a 37-point margin. Yeah, you lost by a 37-point margin. What are you doing here? Like, why are you two? Excuse me, you should be 3 or 4. And why is Florida State here? I don't even understand why they're 4. Maybe it's because of their ranking and stuff. But obviously, Michigan plays better when we get talked poorly about. But ultimately, I just don't like this. And then TCU drops to 12, which is kind of surprising, but it is what it is. So I want to talk about this and everything else. This is where I'm going to talk about this team right here and explain why a lot of people complain about, oh, yeah, they don't belong and stuff. And I'm going to explain why I believe that. So let's go back to Unshare and let's talk about one hit wonders. And I've talked about recruiting and I've talked about how star power doesn't matter. You guys talk about, I've seen you in my comments section say the reason that Georgia and Alabama and all these SEC schools win national championships all the time is because of the 4 stars and 5 stars. Hold up. That's not necessarily true. Okay. A star does not mean you're good. A star just means you're getting more exposure than another player. So if you're a 3 star recruit versus a 4 or 5 star, that just means you got more exposure. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to start or not start on the team or play or not play. You could play on the team and work harder than the 4 or 5 star and beat them out and get playing time and stuff. It's not it's nothing against one team or the other. It's just that everyone says, "Oh, the reason that they win." It's not because of the 4 star and 5 star. It's because of the coaching staff. You have to look at the coaching staff and the guys that are developing these players. That's the reason that they're being successful. Look at Michigan in the last 2 years. Jim Harbaugh has found guys from the transfer portal and other guys that are successful regardless of their star power and stuff because they want to come to a higher school and be represented good. And then our defensive coordinator and our offensive guys know how to bring those guys up and develop them pretty well. Now, obviously, yes, it was a fluke to lose to TCU. I think Michigan will come back stronger next year. We'll see what happens. But I hope that with Blake Corum coming back, yes, Blake Corum is coming back, which is a good thing. Now we got our good running backs, but we also have other running backs. What I don't understand is that we had this other running back, CJ Stokes, and I'm like, why are you not playing him? Like in TCU, we only had Donovan Edwards and stuff, and then we put in Mullins. I'm like, okay, Mullins is good, but he fumbled the ball and stuff. So where was CJ Stokes, who was a good guy? Or Gash? Gash was good too. So I don't really understand our coaching environment and why our coaches decide to play wackadoo in their head or something. I don't understand it. But with new running backs and a couple of new wide receivers coming in, I hope we're better. Because Mike Morris is leaving. Mozzie Smith is leaving. McGregor is leaving. Turner is leaving. Those are the 4 guys that I know on defense as of right now. We don't have Jenkins announced yet. We don't have a couple other guys. Jake Moody is leaving. Ronnie Bell is leaving. Cornelius Johnson is still, he could stay. Rowan Wilson is going to stay. He has one more year left and stuff. He's a junior right now, so he'll be a senior. Blake Corum, senior, so he'll play. Schoonmaker's leaving too, and I still don't know about our offensive line, but we do have a couple offensive line, and I'll talk about our recruiting and I'll go into transfer and all of that. But let's talk about one-hit wonders. So everyone keeps on complaining about, oh, it's so bad. Oh no, and it's true. This is why the 12-team expansion is going to help. Everyone keeps saying that it's going to make it worse because you're going to see more blowouts and stuff. And I'll get to that momentarily. But the thing is that, okay, blowouts or not, you're still going to get more exposure for teams to either teams are going to just be there and stuff, and other players will sit out and say, no, I want to get ready for the NFL draft and stuff. And I hate that. You should play. I mean, it's fine and stuff. The other thing is that with the 12-team expansion, you have more of that spread out, like, love and wealth around where, smaller schools with NIT money now get more exposure and maybe they want to play there now and stuff. But then the concern is, are they just one-hit wonders, or can they get back into the college football playoff for the next 2 years or something? Michigan is not a one-hit wonder. Let me just pause. Let me hit the pause button there for a second. Michigan is not a one-hit wonder, okay? They've been there for 2 years. They've also won national championships prior to this. Yes, I know. The last one was 1997, not in the current era that we live in right now, but it is what it is. And anyone who keeps on saying that SEC is the best conference, I'm going to punch someone in the face because of that. Because let me tell you, the Big Ten is just as good, all right? You even saw the commentators say TCU and Big 12 play cannot compete with the money, the NIT money, and the recruiting that the Big 10 and the SEC have. And everyone is saying, oh my God, the SEC is so much better. Maybe it was, but it seems that the SEC is not light years ahead of the Big 10 anymore. The Big 10 used to, remember, the Big 10 used to be light years ahead of every other conference because the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, you can look it up yourself. Nebraska, Michigan, Ohio State, these teams were rocking left and right, winning national championships and stuff. And it was only until the current era where we still had the BCS format where Alabama won their first one in 2019, and then come 2014 was actually the first college football playoff, and, Ohio State won that one. And, it is what it is, but Big Ten teams have ruled usually and stuff. In the last 9 years, SEC has been relevant, but prior to that, it used to be always the Big Ten. So the point is that maybe they're not like years ahead. It was always like, those super teams in basketball, the Warriors in the NBA or something, or the Cleveland Cavaliers. Oh, they're light years ahead. No one will catch them. Injuries plagued them, and teams caught up and won championships against them and stuff. It happens. Georgia didn't look that very strong in the semifinal. Ohio State looked like a superstar and could have knocked them off if that kicker didn't miss. Sorry, I don't want to troll any Ohio State fans. Even though I'm a Michigan fan. Michigan expected to win against TCU, and I feel humiliated to lose by a 10,000 student school and stuff versus our school who has 50,000 students at it. I mean, it is what it is, but you see sometimes these surprise, like, Cinderella stories or a weaker team knocking off a better team. You see who was it? Oral Roberts knocked off Ohio State in basketball one year. St. Peter's went all the way to the Final Four or something and then lost to Gonzaga or Baylor or something like that last year. And, those are just sometimes those one-hit wonder things happen and sometimes they don't or was it 2 years ago? I don't even remember anymore because then you see those teams, they fall off. Loyola Chicago, though, has always been pretty good, though. They continue to be successful and be in March Madness. But the reason I want to talk about these one-hit wonders is it's concerning for TCU. Even though they got exposure and stuff in their recruiting, can they get back to where they were? Can they be 13-0, and can they go to the college football playoff again? Or are they going to struggle and stuff, and can they get to a national championship again and finally win one? Win there? Because Tennessee looked like they were going to go into the college football playoff until they imploded on themselves with injuries and stuff. And, injuries are a part of the game, but it is what it is. The reason I bring up this one-hit wonder is look at LSU. Let's talk about the boys, the LSU Tigers. Listen, I used to like LSU. I had no problem with them and stuff. They're not a bad school. I like Clemson too. It was just infuriating to see Clemson keep jumping Michigan this year. I was like, come on, man. They haven't played anyone. They've been playing close games. We're blowing out teams 92-0, 56-0. Where's our top 4 spot? But I digress. The point is that look at LSU in 2019. They go out there. They go play Clemson. And then they beat Clemson by a big margin with Justin Jefferson, Joe Burrow, and Jamar Chase. And my goodness, that team was special. I would love to see, though, the 2017 Clemson Tigers or the 2018 Alabama Crimson Tide play that team and stuff. Or the 2020 Crimson Tide, because I think that would have been cool to see. Oh, no, I'm sorry, the 2021 champions and stuff. Because I would love to see that 2019 LSU season versus that 2020-2021 season of Alabama and stuff. It'd be interesting. But the point is that they win a championship, and then what happened? What happened to them? I mean, 2020, they into that championship into January, and then they're recruiting, and then you go into 2020-21, and then they completely fall off. And then the next year, they completely fall off. So what's going on here? Excuse me, guys. I dropped my pen. I'm back. What completely happened is weird because they completely fell off. So I'm like, what happened to their recruiting? Why is their coaching so bad? Now, granted, I think they finished 10-2 or 11-2. I'm not sure. Something. Oh no, I'm sorry. Maybe they finished 10-3. They had like 3 losses, 9-3. But still, the point is that a team that good lost good players, and then they could never find their groove again. Like, you thought Michigan was going to be bad, right? Most people probably thought, 2021, they're going to completely fall off like again in 2020, and they're going to be a terrible team. Nope, they found a way, and they went 13-0 in the regular season. Well, 12-0 in the regular season, championship 13-0, and then lost in the playoff. But the point is that they were there, they grasped it, and, they're not one-hit wonders or falling off. It seems like they're finding their footing and finally getting that recruiting power and transfer power, because a lot of people want to play for Jim Harbaugh, and he doesn't want to go to the NFL and this and that. And hopefully he doesn't go to the NFL, because I really like the guy. But I'm pissed, though, about his execution in the playoffs. So with that being said, let's go into some of these notes that I have here written down. TCU didn't look like they belonged in the national championship. Fact or fiction? Fact. Because my goodness, they look like a middle school team and stuff. They didn't deserve to be there. Okay, Michigan plagued themselves in the foot and stuff. Okay, they didn't look like a team that deserved to be there. I feel bad for Michigan. I feel embarrassed to lose to a 10,000 student school. I think that Michigan should have been able to shred them, annihilate them. They should have been able to put up the same amount of points against that Georgia did against TCU, and they should have been able to put up 65 and lock them down 65-7. So, yeah, that's my first thing. Now, I am going to talk about one other thing about this, and then I'm going to jump into the recruiting classes and talk about all of that and stuff. So, yeah, those are the guys that are leaving, guys. Mike Morris, DJ Turner, McGregor, Ronnie Bell, Schoonmaker, and that's all we know. Oh, and Mozzie Smith, and that's all we know right now and stuff. But other than that, let's go into this other thing I wanted to say. I'm going to arrange a lot of fans, but I do have some factual information here in a regular season. Yes, it was like maybe 2 years ago, roughly, these regular season games, but there are 2 Super Bowls here that are not that far off. Yes, 24. One of them is 9 years ago. One of them is only 2 years ago. So people still think the NFL is better, because they're like, oh, this is why the NFL is better, because you're blowing out teams by a big margin. Yeah, but have you noticed before Big Ten play, that's what always happens with teams and stuff. And then they play close games when it's their conference and stuff. Look at Georgia. They played a close game against Missouri and they almost lost and stuff. I mean, they they didn't even look like the runner-up offensive line and the number one offensive line looked like shit when playing in those college football playoff environments. So, I told you, when you play a close game, you're going to struggle. You might lose and stuff. I said it against Clemson. I said it against Alabama, and it happens. So people still think the NFL is better. Yet they have had blowouts in the Super Bowl and in the regular season. Anyone that doesn't know that needs to freaking get underneath a rock and open it and freaking crawl out of it. Because let me tell you, 2021 Super Bowl, that was a blowout. It was 31-9, Tampa Bay and Tom Brady's way. 2014, the Super Bowl. It was Russell Wilson and the Legion of Boom's way. Peyton Manning fell 43-8 against the Seattle Seahawks, and Denver lost. The regular season, I'm going to bring up two games here. Dallas versus Giants, 42-9. Okay, that game pains me too. A terrible game. Dolphins versus Ravens, 59-6. I could keep going, but I won't, because those are just some examples of blowouts. You're telling me that there has never been a blowout in the NFL and stuff? No, there has been blowouts. There has been close games. There has been weak games. There has been games where people run all over you and stuff. I don't care what it is, what game it is. I have seen blowouts. I've seen teams put up 70 points. And I don't care if it's an old game from 1972. I don't care if it's a current game. People have seen blowouts. I mean, I think there was a Giants game where they killed us 73 or 70-7, and then the Commanders kicked another field goal, and it was 73-7 and stuff. And they wanted to win by more points and stuff. So it is what it is, but there has been blowouts in the NFL, and anyone who doesn't agree with that, get over yourself. So yeah, this is my end of the year college football video, and let me just go into this right here. I guess. So, I don't know what happened here. Hang on, let me stop sharing. I don't know what happened there, guys. Hang on one second. There we go. Sorry. Some glitch thing. So I want to talk about the AP ranking first. This is the get the hell off my screen, you douche. Hang on one second. Decline. There we go. Sorry, that was some stupid ass decline thing. All right. So this is obviously the final rankings of AP, all the way down to 25. So we'll start with the bottom. So Texas finishing at 25, 8-5, not bad. Fresno State, whoa, I never heard of them really. 10-4. South Carolina, I mean, they're not bad, but they're not great. 8-5. I mean, surprisingly that they went over Fresno, but even though Fresno finished 10-4, maybe it's just because they played a tougher games and stuff. Pittsburgh, I definitely deserving 9-4. I don't really Whoa, UCLA jumping over Pittsburgh here. A little weird. I've never understood the rankings to the best of my ability with the voting odds and stuff. It's just weird for me and stuff. It is what it is. Troy at 12-2 when they're at 19. Jeez, Louise, what the hell? So yeah, Mississippi State, Notre Dame, Oregon State. All right, I mean LSU. Hey, LSU put up a big margin. But see, this is what I'm talking about. You have games in bowl games where it's close. Look, versus North Carolina, 28-27. I mean, you got Kansas State. I mean, blowout, right? Close game against USC. I mean, their defense sucked. I mean, yeah. Oklahoma, close game. I mean, look, a very close game. Florida State, 35-32. Very good team, though. Florida State looks like they're trending upward. Utah at 10. I mean, look, that was an okay game. It wasn't that close, but it was still pretty close. Tulane, already saw that score. Washington, look at this Washington, Texas. 27-20, close game. I mean, Penn State, really good. All right. I mean, Tennessee, I don't really need that. All right, we go into Alabama. Blowout, really good. I mean, they're moving up. Ohio State at 4. I do agree that they should be there. Losing a close game. I mean, this is probably the best college football playoff that we've had in a long time in the semifinals. Michigan lost to 51-45. You're only as good as your last performance. Honestly, I get why, because TCU beat us, but at the same time, you're 13-2, buddy. You should be below us. I probably will be next season during the preseason. 15-0, Georgia staying at 1, TCU at their, best explanation. It's not that different though. I mean, look how much the point differential is. It's not that different from TCU. Um, Ohio State is kind of close too, but we'll see what these teams are. Now, I'm not going to go through every single player of TCU, but I am going to talk about their transfer rank. So their transfer rank is 21. Their rank for the for their recruiting is 19, and their overall rank is 20, which is not bad being in the top 20. I don't think that's that bad, but you got to see like how they're doing with their team and stuff. It seems like they're getting a lot of 4 stars here. They're a couple 3 stars, but and then they got whoa, look at this. This is cool though. This is interesting. You got guys that are from Alabama that have transferred to TCU, and guys from LSU. Wide receiver, cornerback. That's really good for TCU to have a team. Now, I don't hate TCU. I'm just annoyed that they beat us, okay? I'm not like, oh my God, they're our new rival. I hate them. F you. No, it's just that I don't really like them. So, that's that. Now, let's go into my boys rocking here. This is the big end of the season college football video that I normally do, guys. This is my college football end of the season review video. And yeah, normally I would do it with my basketball and want to talk about their recruits as well, but I just want to be done with this and kind of get it done. So, whatever it is, let's just get it done. So, again, not a very I have to laugh a little. Not a very good recruiting, but compared to TCU, it is a little bit better at 17. And I could see all of their recruits and stuff, but oh no, maybe this is just. I'm sorry, maybe this is just. I'm sorry, no, this is just the way that So we can look at Michigan's recruits here and stuff. So they have 14 3-stars, 0 5-stars, and 9 4-stars, which is not bad, though. You can't complain. Ohio State is there as well. They have 1 4-star. I'm surprised that they're 6, though. Even though it's weird that Michigan is so low, but it is what it is. So, look, they have a running back. Good cornerback here. Tall guys that are going to be good. Hopefully, we can do something with this. Bring in some good wide receivers as well. Come on, good guys. A lot of people want Nicholas Harbor, though. I don't think our draft. I don't think it's that bad as everyone says it is. But I definitely can go to the transfers and let's look at them. Yeah, so these are our transfers, guys. So obviously a quarterback from Indiana. Now that's not bad bringing in a backup quarterback for JJ McCarthy and stuff. AJ Barner, good tight end to bring in, get an extra tight end for Michigan. Joshua Stewart is an edge rusher from Coastal, I think, or yeah, I think that might be Coastal. He's gonna be good though. He high school he was a 3-star, but now that he's transferred, he's a 4-star. Miles Hinton, he was a very good good offensive tackle at Stanford. Moving to Michigan though, getting more exposure. And then you got Ladarius Henderson, who is from Arizona State, who's moving to Michigan as well. And then you got this linebacker, Erison Hausman, I think is his name. And, he didn't get exposure. He's a freshman, though. And he's 6'2", he's 220. It's gonna be tough to play against that guy. And it's good to have a linebacker like that. Have a good linebacker like that. When you have guys that are linebackers like that, I think it's gonna be definitely good. But as you know, guys, there's still one guy that Michigan is trying to target, and that is this guy right here. Okay, I mean, Nicholas Harmer is, I believe, how you pronounce it, and everyone is trying to get their hands on him and stuff because they want that guy. I mean, they don't want him. They definitely want him, and these are guys that are cool though that are not gonna really join Michigan or have no chance at like us because they're just not there. But I mean, I think Michigan definitely looks like a good school this year, and definitely looks like good. Now, obviously, there are 14 other teams. Alabama has just left the running though. Okay, they're cool. Alabama has been discontinued. Maryland has him here. Michigan has him. Oregon has him, and he still has not made a decision yet. So keep that in mind, guys. He has not made a decision yet. But I'll let you know as soon as he makes a decision. Once he makes a decision, if he chooses Michigan, it's a good place for him because we'll have really good linebackers, and we haven't had a 5-star in like such a long time. Well, I mean, we've had JJ McCarthy, who was a 5-star, but that's it. Those are the notes that I have for today for our college football review. What do you guys think? Do you think that the one hit wonder thing is somewhat true and concerning with TCU and all these other teams and stuff? Oh my God, they were good. Now they're bad. How do we get their recruiting good and stuff? Are they going to be consistently good or are they going to be bad? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. That's all I have to say. So until next time, guys, don't forget to stay radical. I'll see you in the next one.